The Ordovician time period lasted approximately 45 million years. During this time period, most of the world's landmass was created up of the supercontinent called Gondwana. The Gondwana was made up of South America, Africa, India, Antarctica, and Australia. Do you enjoy soaking in the hot sun? Then come and visit during the Ordovician time period. What's the Ordovician time period, you may ask? The Ordovician time period is a time period that occurred over 485 million years ago. During this time period, the atmosphere was mainly warm and wet, and sea levels were rising very quickly. Also, during this time, almost all of North America was submerged underwater. As you can see, here are some of the animals that were living during this period: graptolites, trilobites, and brachiopods. All three of these animals have modern descendants. Graptolites are pterobranchs, trilobites have no descendants, and brachiopod's descendant is the phylum Brachiopoda. Just like any other animal, these animals must have been hungry. Graptolites ate from straining plankton, trilobites hunted for their food, but mostly worms, and brachiopods are suspension eaters, which means they extract food such as plankton out of water. Most of the animals were in water during this time period. Now time to talk about some of the plants from this time period. Red and green algae provide most of animals' food. Green algae is very important because it provides oxygen and other shelter for animals. Sponges also provide changes in temperature and changes in low oxygen levels. Just like the animals, plants also have modern descendants. Red and green algae's modern descendants are fungi, and for the sponge, the modern descendant is coral. During the Ordovician period, the atmosphere was more of a mild climate and contained a lot of moisture. The climate was mainly very warm with temperatures at 120 degrees Fahrenheit, and near the equator, the sea temperatures could get up to 110 degrees Fahrenheit. Now for the tectonic activity. The uplifts of the tectonic activity happened under shallow seas. This means increased seafloor spreading along with more volcanic activity. During this period, there were metamorphic and sedimentary rocks. These rocks consisted of shale, limestone, sandstone, and siltstone. Now that you know a little bit about the Ordovician time period, here's some things you will need if you are looking to visit. Food, lots of water for dehydration, a bathing suit, summer clothing, and most importantly, sunscreen. However, you will not need many items for protection because during this time, you will be at the top of the food chain. The reason why you should take a trip to the Ordovician time period is because you will be one of the very few people to visit the Earth while it is still forming and while it is still in its original continent, Gondwana.